So we're going to execute our event on our actions we're in. What's going to happen is first, if we click on a button, either acknowledge, reject, or route, we're gonna execute an asynchronous JavaScript, and it will be a method post. Then in our services.py, it will execute the function, and after that the row will update or disappears depending on what's going to happen. If has an empty row, then all of this will happen with no page reloads. So let's execute that. Let's do this. So here in our views.py, we're gonna import our JSON response. Okay, so since we have imported our JSON response, then we're gonna also need to import our require post. So this require post comes from django.views.decorators.http. Then we also need to import our acknowledge document. Here in our services, we have created acknowledge document and reject document when we started developing our models back then. So it's located in our workflow.services. Import acknowledge document. There you go. Let's try indenting this. It's much more readable. Since we have our require post, let's require post and create a acknowledge action. So it must be acknowledge action, and it must take an request and a document ID. So after that, let's try and closing this to a try catch. Try passing pass for now, and add an exception. And since we import our JSON response, we're gonna throw our JSON response success, false, or error string e. Let's try indenting this one so that it's much more readable in the eyes. Okay, since we don't have any status, yeah, status 400, meaning there's an error. So after that, let's go back to our pass. So we will try to execute our acknowledge document from our services.py, wherein that acknowledge document accepts a doc ID. Document ID is equal to document ID. Then it must have request user, and that will be equal to user. We don't need this one. Okay, after our acknowledge document, and if it's successful, try running. Return JSON response as success, meaning document is acknowledged successfully. And for our reject endpoint, reject post, and reject action, it also access the doc ID. We will try implement our try catch, then a pass for now, except same idea that we have above. And since we have JSON response, let's use JSON. JSON response success. This must be true. Message. Let's try putting a string document rejected with the closing tag. Oh, we have a mistake. We must put this as in the try catch. We're gonna execute our reject document wherein it accepts a doc ID equals to doc ID and user request is equals to our session user. Then our true, this one that we're gonna need to return. Now for our exception, this becomes our success false error string E status 400, just like what's in above. Then for our route action, so it will be the same. I'm gonna try accept exception as E. So we need to get which department ID we want this to be post. Then our route document, we're gonna call our services.py document ID, then our return JSON response. Then we're gonna go to our first.py and call this. Our documents need an integer, and if it is acknowledged, we're gonna call our views.py acknowledge action, and that will be the same for reject and route. Let's do this. Then we're gonna go to our documents action table and modify our buttons to have a data attribute for action and URL, meaning it will be created as data URL, then data action. For this button for acknowledge, the same class and that's the same just like the others, but we added data earl and data action. The same for reject action and route.